Hello everybody, and welcome to round 1 of the Shonen Showdown, brought to you by Anime Yay or Nay and nothing else. I am the OutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm NV Jitters.
We'll figure out a better intro for that next time. So, Shonen Showdown, we're talking...
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't see the update, we're going to be watching, for the next 8 weeks, 16 different shonen anime from, honestly, all over the place from the past 30 years. And some we grew up with, some we haven't seen before, some new ones, some old ones, some classics, some fresh blood, all sorts of stuff. And we're going to compare all of them head to head and see which one ends up being the best. We're going to, as usual, be watching the first 3 episodes of these shows, and we're going to be comparing them in a couple different categories. So right now, yeah, we picked out 16. We kind of randomized it, threw everything together. Well, we didn't randomize the first one because we'd already kind of picked it previously. Yeah. But yeah, so this week it's One Piece versus Fairy Tail, head-to-head matchup. We're going to talk a little bit about each of them, and then we're going to go into what we thought was better, worse than in all of them. I got to make sure. I should have brought up my notes from before first, but I didn't.
Question.
What's up?
Quick question. Okay, so for our scoring system, we are doing a yay or nay and not a 1 through 5 type of deal? Or...
Yeah, no, we can... I'm thinking, we got 7 categories that we're going to go through after we describe what the show is. And we're going to each give, a yay or a nay. There's, some quantifiability there. But really, ultimately, after we talk about what was a yay for us, what was a nay for us for both individual shows, we're going to go and debate, one versus the other. Who gets the yay, who gets the nay, because there can only be one winner today.
Right.
So.
It's a forced choice.
It will be a forced choice, because who knows, maybe both of them come in with a nay, and one of them has to turn into a yay. Or both have a yay, and we have to decide which yay is stronger. I don't know. We're playing this a little bit by ear for now. But anyway, let's talk about our contender 1, One Piece. So this is a fairly famous show. It was part of the Big 3. Back in the day. If you're too young to remember what the Big 3 is, stop watching our channel. I don't know why you care about us. It's a show about pirates, sort of, in the same way that Naruto is a show about ninjas, sort of, and basically any shonen is an anime about something, sort of. Main character's a guy named Cody.
What?
No, that's not the main character.
Okay, for these 3 episodes, Cody is kind of the main character.
I don't want him to be.
No.
I don't either.
I'm glad he left at the end.
His dub voice actor wasn't that good.
We're going to talk about it.
Oh, we should mention, we're going to be watching all of these dubbed, because it gives us something else to talk about, because I don't know anyone who's ever complained about a subbed anime.
Yeah.
So, it's just something else to look at.
It's another thing to look at, and the thing is there are some dubs that are on point, but then there are others that are just crap.
Yeah.
So
we might have a mixture of those throughout this competition. So
I know we will. Believe me, I know we will. I know some of the entries down the line.
Let's point out this is not the 4Kids dub, because again we couldn't find it. We're gonna put a pin in that for later. I do want to watch that. I don't know if we're gonna have to find the DVDs or something and just watch them all together. But for now, this is the Funimation dub. So we'll be discussing the dub elements of it in a minute. But so we're following a kid named Kobe, whatever. We don't care. He's been shanghaied by pirates, and now has to raid a passenger ship. But he finds a barrel with a kid inside named Luffy, and Luffy just beats the shit out of every pirate on that thing, and then runs from the cops. And that's episode 1.
Pretty much.
No, these are fairly easy to explain. Yeah. So they go to a port town, and he's like, I'm going to be king of the pirates. As everyone who has ever heard of One Piece knows, Luffy wants to be king of the pirates. And, 300 plus hours of anime later, he still hasn't done it. But that's neither here nor there.
Trying to find the mystical One Piece.
Is it mystical? I wasn't sure whether it was magic or it was just a lot of gold.
It's a lot of gold.
Okay, well, they didn't say it here, so ultimately, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we basically have to go with, any show is going to be, all we have to work with is the first 3 episodes. Whether we've seen anything else of it or not, first 3 episodes is all we get to judge it on. Very unfair. But then again,
nobody cares. Got him.
So yeah, they go to this port town because they're like, Luffy needs a crew, and Kobe needs to complain about things, and they find Zoro, who is being crucified.
Something like
that. Because he beat up the son of Captain Morgan, and I will say this, the names are kind of fun if they're gonna... I don't know if the rest of the series continues on with the whole Captain Morgan and all these other sort of weird, silly things, but yeah. So Zoro seems like he's a badass, he's a bounty hunter, and Luffy's like, I need this guy for my crew because he seems like really awesome.
He already looks like a pirate.
Everyone looks like a pirate.
Even though he's like, I don't like pirates.
They do explain that the world is like almost entirely ocean.
Yeah.
So to some degree, everyone has to be a sailor.
It's
in some form or fashion. Yeah. So, everyone's a little piratey.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it. He's like, oh, they took my sword, so I can't leave. And so Luffy goes and grabs his swords, and then we get to meet Captain Morgan, who it's been said before, he looks like a Bond villain. And as an axe for an arm and all sorts of stuff. It's great for lumberjacking, chopping onions, and executing enemies of the state. So Luffy breaks his statue because he's a narcissist. The captain's a narcissist, not Luffy. Luffy might be a narcissist. We don't really know that much about him yet.
Yeah.
And Captain Morgan wants to kill him, and his son wants to kill him, and everybody wants to kill a bunch of people in this, basically. Luffy takes his son hostage, finds the swords in the guy's room, he bounces down to the courtyard where Zoro's being crucified. There's a little girl, but I don't think she's important anymore. So, who cares? And
she was
she was there. She was a thing.
Yeah.
There was something about rice balls that was not censored by 4Kids this time.
Yeah. Well, because we weren't watching 4Kids.
No, we weren't. No. But, big fight. They beat up Captain Morgan. And then all the Marines who were working there are like, yay, the captain's dead? It's not really clear if he died or whether he was just defeated. I'm going with defeated because that's the usual shonen trope. And they're like, hey, thanks for doing that, but you're also pirates, so get the hell out of here. And they leave Cody to become a Marine, and Luffy and Zoro go on a dinghy out to find their adventure. Also, there was a girl named Nami there somewhere. Not important.
Yeah.
So that's the plot.
She becomes a main character later on.
But she's not here, so she means nothing. So, that's the plot. We might as well get into that first category. What was everybody's thoughts on this plot?
Do you mean just the plot in general, or
the plot of this first 3 episodes?
So,
yeah.
For the first 3 episodes, I will say that this plot dragged. I feel like had it just been, oh, he's gonna be king of the pirates, we're gonna jump into the adventure, I feel like that would have been a yay for me, but it's One Piece is a very long show.
Oh, yeah.
So...
it's still going. The manga is not done yet.
It's not. And I don't know. You gotta get me interested real quick, and no, it's a nay for me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I almost think maybe if they had started with the episode with Zoro, I would have liked the plot better.
Yeah.
I almost think
kind of like start in media res, kind of.
Yeah, it's like the first episode almost felt pointless except introducing Cody, and he's kind of a non-character anyway.
Yeah, and he's gone, so I don't know whether we're going to be cutting it. It ultimately doesn't matter right now, but I'm not sure whether we would even be cutting back and forth between Cody and the other pirates. I don't see what the point would be.
I think he disappears for a really long time.
I think he might come back later as a Marine.
Yeah.
Is probably what his storyline is.
Unless it would be in the next 2 episodes, I don't see a point in this character.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just feel like starting with the Zoro stuff would have made me more interested right away, kind of like what Chibi was saying. So I think the plot was like serviceable once he gets to where Zoro is, but the first episode kind of lost me a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
I would,
I mean, for me, it was just kind of your standard.
Hold up. So you're a nay?
I'm kind of a nay on the plot. It's like I said, if it had started with the second episode, I think I might have been a yay, but the first episode I think wasn't great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Envy, what were you saying?
I'm saying, for me, it was kind of your standard, introduction. Although I have to admit, as soon as I saw that barrel in the water, I knew that Luffy was somehow going to come out of it. I don't know why. I knew that Luffy was going to be in that barrel, and sure enough, he...
Hey, think about it. His name is Monkey. He's in a barrel.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
It's foreshadowing.
Yeah, but I mean...
When you have a character named Captain Morgan, you have to have some kind of pun like that somewhere.
I mean, as far as me... I don't mind Luffy. I like Zoro because I like his voice actor, but
oh yeah, Vegeta.
Cody kind of Christopher Sabat.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, we're not on characters yet.
But
we're still talking about plot.
But yeah, the Cody thing was kind of irritating me a little bit. So I guess I'm a meh on it. Not an EA, not an A, just meh.
Okay. Yeah, where are you at?
Well, I was kind of like. The first episode, I wasn't too crazy about it. And then it got to the second episode where it was, like, introducing, like, Zoro. I think that's when they introduced him. But it was, like, with the little girl in the, like, trying to feed him, like, those rice balls.
Yep.
And I was just like, what the hell is going on here? And it was just kind of, not like I wasn't.
You ever feel like you're a side character in someone else's A plot?
Yeah. And it was just like I was watching it with my brother, and my brother was like, he doesn't watch anime, so this was like, yeah.
You're just gonna throw him in the deep end with a One Piece?
Yeah. I mean, he watched Ergo Proxy with me, but
oh jeez.
Well, Ergo Proxy was good. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, that was a good one.
Good.
And he was like, he was like, I feel like I have to be high if I'm watching this. I was like, yeah,
I won't say that he's wrong.
Yeah.
There's certainly some anime you could watch high and have a really good time.
It
You know,
would
we're
be
not.
cool, yeah.
I want to say we're not endorsing drug use for now.
For now.
For now.
Today.
We'll see.
But yeah, I was like, the third episode I was more interested in than the rest of the episodes. But overall, I was kind of like a meh on it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of all where you guys are right now. I didn't want to say outright nay, because again, like, first episode's a little slow and a little whatever, but once you're right, once the other two are actually decent for an introduction and character stuff, so, you know, I'm gonna give it a meh.
So we are allowed to do mehs?
You know what? I'll say meh, because ultimately it's not going to matter how many yays or nays you're going to get, because ultimately they go head-to-head and only one person gets a yay or an A. So, yeah, mehs are on the table. Are you changing to meh now, or are you still an A?
No, I'm still an A.
Okay, then yeah.
Like I said, if we're getting to King of the Pirates, we gotta go full force into pirate plot, because I can't.
How do you become King of the Pirates without a crew? He has to get the crew first.
I understand that.
Everyone loves the heist part of a heist movie, but if you don't assemble your crew, how do you have your heist?
No, I understand that, but at the same time, I have a feeling we're gonna be taking at least a season to gather the crew.
Right, it's just
That's
like
just my
Cody's
thoughts.
not part of the crew anyway, so why did we have to gather him?
Well, we were gathering Zoro.
But that's why I'm saying the first episode could have not existed.
We also got a small introduction to Nami in that episode.
That's
if
true,
you can
that's
call
true.
it that.
She could have been introduced in the second one, though.
I mean, she could have been introduced in the first one. Let's be real here.
I'm thinking for the most part, she's probably going to be the one they collect next for the third episode.
Yeah,
probably.
So, if we're going by Yin's plan, it would be episode 2 is episode 1, episode 3 is episode 2. So we get the Zoro done in 2 episodes, then we meet Nami for real in the third episode. That probably would have been solid.
That would have been solid. I feel like that would have been fine.
Okay.
Basically, Cody is the root of the issue.
So, we might as well move on to character then, and let's talk about Cody. Does anyone like Cody, or are we a unanimous nay on him?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay,
Nay.
it's looking pretty unanimous
like
there. How about everybody else, though? Because ultimately, Cody doesn't fucking matter. What do we think of Luffy?
I mean, Luffy, I'm a bit of a meh on. I don't know. I think it's just weird. I'm a yay on everyone else though. They're all pretty cool.
I honestly like Luffy just fine. He's upbeat, you know? He's the kind of character that you want to follow, I think, so I like him. I liked Zoro. I thought he was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So those two stuck out to me in a good way, so I'd give the characters overall pretty good. I thought the villains were kind of, like, goofy, but it was sort of fun, I guess, so...
Yeah,
it's alright.
I agree with you there, because I think like a lot of things was just about like having fun with this, because this is kind of a kid's show. And yeah, definitely Zoro and Luffy stood out more than anything because they're supposed to.
Right.
Right.
I'm gonna say a soft yay for the most part. I'm not quite a meh, but I'm definitely like leaning more positively because yeah, Luffy's basic. He's a very basic protagonist.
But he's kind of fun, basic.
But yeah, you're saying, he's upbeat. He's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm okay with him. And his power is actually kind of interesting because I don't know that many times I've seen like stretchy extendo people in like anime. I'm sure there's others, but like I'm really trying to like rack my brain for another one.
I mean, the only time I can't even name any off the top of my head, but I don't know. Stretchy limbs always seems to me more like a supervillain power than a hero power.
But now it's the hero, or depending on your perspective, he is technically a criminal, so he could be a villain.
True. Yes.
Not completely breaking type, but yeah.
I just think of like Elastigirl. That's about it.
I think of Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. Mr. Fantastic, yeah. That's true.
That's
occasionally Plastic Man. Actually, you know what? He gives me a little bit more Plastic Man vibes from DC.
Yeah.
Kind of like the goofball sort of thing.
It works, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Zoro
Envy?
also seems a little basic right now, basic samurai, but he's a cool samurai, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Envy? Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Kind of soft EA like Al.
Okay. All right. Anything else on characters, or we should move forward?
Wait, we didn't do Gav.
Sorry, did we not do Gav? I thought you... We don't usually go like this many times around a circle, so I'm like forgetting who spoke a little bit.
Yeah, I like the characters. I would have to agree with Yin on what they said about how Luffy's kind of like just charismatic and makes you want to follow him. So I liked Luffy for the most part, and Zoro was cool. Didn't like Cody or whatever his name is.
We've covered that.
But yeah.
No one does.
Cody, you're useless.
And yeah, the villains were kind of like, eh.
I should point out, we've all seen One Piece at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Luffy's funny. And Zoro's cool, so
That's what matters.
The character's a yay, yeah.
I think part of the reason that I liked him was just like how clearly focused he was on whatever he was doing at a particular time. He's like, I'm hungry, I'm getting food. Okay, these people are gonna kill you. I beat them up and I go find some food. It's like, this person, you gotta watch out for them. I don't care.
He's pretty simple.
And maybe that's a result of he knows he can't die, because ultimately, how do you beat up a man made of rubber?
Yeah, very true.
It does make me wonder later on, like, what's his kryptonite?
I'm sure there has to be something.
There has to be.
He's got to struggle invincible some way, but yeah. So it's looking like an overall yay for the characters.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on the world building here? Because clearly this is not Earth. This is I'll call it a fantasy world to some degree. What are our thoughts on water world?
I mean,
the Kevin Costner movie, not this show.
I mean, generally, I guess this is because I really liked Wind Waker. I like the idea of just like the world just being a bunch of islands and you go sailing around to different places, and I don't know, the whole pirate concept is real cool. Like, I like that. It's a yay for me, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked the world overall, and I liked that they didn't spend a whole lot of time explaining it or anything, because I hate exposition dumps. It just kind of was what it was. And I liked that about it. It fit. It made sense. And like Cheap said, I like the water aspect and the sailing and everything. So I'd say world building's a yay.
Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I like they do a decent enough job in the first episode saying, you know, this is the type of world that it is, and I like pirate stories, so I kind of have a little bit of a bias too. So yeah, I kind of give it a yay.
Okay. Gav?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the world building was fine. It was like, I don't really know how to describe my thoughts on it. Like kind of what everyone else said, I guess. Like, it was, you know, like it's a good setting for pirates. So it
Well,
works
World Full of
out.
Water would be.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like I'm kind of with you guys. Like Yin was saying, there is one lore dump.
Yeah.
And it's kind of about the Grand Line, which is like their X marks the spot thing for the One Piece.
But it's over pretty fast.
But yeah, it is. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we've gotten a decent enough we got like a foundation for a good world. It's not super detailed yet. Like, we don't know what the devil fruit are and that kind of stuff. Right. We have a general idea, but it seems like no one else even knows in the show what they are. So, like, it seems like a good thing that doesn't get like thrown at you, but so much as built upon over time. And I think that is the best way to do world building. So
Yeah.
I don't need to know everything.
No, not off the bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, this looks like world building is a pretty solid yay for One Piece. Good for them. How about their art and animation? We should kind of put a little bit of a caveat in here, because this was made in like 1999.
Yeah.
So compared to some of today's anime, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, for a 1999 anime, it still is. I think it still holds up relatively well. I mean, it's obviously, if you're going to compare it to like Demon Slayer or JoJo, that's something more modern, then obviously it's not going to be as technically good. But for the time that it is, I still think it holds up, especially when you get Luffy and his crazy stretching abilities.
I think the art style worked and it was unique for itself. I don't think I've ever seen anything else that looks like One Piece, unless it's a parody of One Piece in some way. So as far as standing out and being its own thing, I think it definitely does well there. As far as the actual animation of it, I found it a little lacking in some spots. There were like little...
The way their mouths move.
And there's like some other little things here and there where like they kind of like would warp shots or like take just still images and do other stuff with them that like I'm like, if I'm doing this for an abridged series, I don't know that you should be doing it if you're the professionals.
Yeah.
So and it's just like little things like that kind of bug me a little bit.
I feel like
so I'm
for
a little
this
split.
Okay. I feel like for this, I think I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of is a little reminiscent, and I think it's maybe just in the eyes, sort of like Dragon Ball, a little bit, but that might just be because of the time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be, to be fair, Dragon Ball came out like late 80s, I think the manga came out, so I wouldn't be surprised if this did have an influence on One Piece.
I think for me, it was just that there was a lot of same face going on. Like that person in Zoro's flashback looked exactly
every girl looks like Nami.
Nami, yeah. It's like every girl is Nami. So I just thought that was pretty annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The animation was kind of nay for me. Some of the character designs were fine, but I just don't like the same face thing. And the costume designs and stuff weren't very interesting. So it was kind of like whatever, I guess. I didn't like it much.
Yeah, I'm also kind of a meh on it, to be very honest. Not for me.
How about Envy and Gav? What you feeling?
I think Envy already said, right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I
kind of holds up still, even though it's not like Demon Slayer.
Well, yeah, I thought it. I was still entertained by the animation, and a lot of it is and some of the guest list. I hear the animation is a lot better now, even though they still use the same
Yeah.
art style. So I guess it's
Yeah.
just a matter of as technology progresses, they get better and better. So I say for a 1999 anime, I would give it a yay. Nowadays, I guess a low yay.
I used to like one of the reasons why I never was interested in One Piece was because of the animation. I had thought it looked very like ugly, I guess, back in the day. But then when I was watching it, I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. Like, I was like, Luffy and Zoro, like, yeah, they're not too bad looking, like, of characters. So, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I've seen some of what the other characters look like that come along like later on and join the crew.
Oh yeah, they're
But-
very creepy looking.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we can't
Oh.
really judge it on something that we haven't seen for these
Mm.
first 3 episodes, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Cody
I
looks
would
like shit.
say,
We
like,
know that.
Yeah.
Nothing is good about Cody.
Cody
yeah,
is
fuck
bad.
Cody. But like, I don't know. Like, I think I have to agree with Yin with like I don't really like the way they do their women.
Yeah.
And like it's the same face, and then also like I've seen some of the other women that come along in the show. Like, I know we're not supposed to judge it on that, but like, I don't know.
Oh, no, it gets worse.
It's probably like a meh
I mean,
for me on
no,
animation.
I'm hearing you because, like, we saw at least 3, possibly 4 different characters who all looked exactly alike except for their hair color.
Yeah.
So it's
The
like a meh
pirate
for
lady in the
me.
beginning, she looked distinct.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well,
Very.
I mean,
She didn't look like Nami.
no.
No.
Well,
No.
no.
Oh,
I mean,
Well,
if you stretch her
what?
out a
Maybe
lot.
she does.
I mean, isn't there supposed to be a point in which she comes back?
Really?
I feel like
don't
I saw
know.
that somewhere.
Oh
I
wow.
have no idea.
Maybe.
Who knows? So it's looking like overall it's a bit of leaning towards a nay for some of the art and animation. How do we feel about the sound and dubbing? Because we were mentioning earlier, what's his name, Chris Sabat for Zoro.
Mhm.
Yeah, Christopher Sabat is Zoro. Colleen Clickenbeard is Luffy. I don't know who voices
Yeah.
Cody, but I
We
really
don't care who voices
care.
Cody. No one cares about Cody. If you're gonna take anything from this episode, no one gives a fuck about Cody. So yeah. So All Might and Haruhi from Oran are teaming up to conquer the world. I'm good with that. I think Luffy was a little bit too screamy at times, but it didn't bug me, I don't think. And I think Zoro
She
just-
walked a fine line between
Yeah.
endearing and being annoyed.
Yeah.
Like, there's times where I thought, I mean, overall, I think she did a good job with the voice, but like, I know she's been doing the character for 13 years now, but like,
Yeah, this was her
as far
first
as-
one.
yeah. So like, I understand that, you know, sometimes having a character that screams and yells is a fine line between getting annoying or not getting annoyed. It was a mixture for me, but yeah, I'm overall a slight yay, minus
I was-
Cody.
Minus Cody.
I was kind of like a meh on the voice acting. I think the only one who stuck out to me as really good was Zoro. Everybody else, kind of like what Envy said, I was a little annoyed sometimes with the voice actor for Luffy, but it was okay overall. I think it's like, and then everybody else, I hardly even remember what they sounded like. The villain's son or whatever was kind of, he stuck out a little bit, but I don't know, maybe
Little
just
bit.
because he was more annoying.
Here's the thing. Because right after we watched One Piece, I, like, that night watched One Piece again, so I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
remembering the guy's voice or if I'm remembering the
Yeah,
abridged
yeah.
voice right now, so I
It's
can't
mixed
really
up a lot.
comment on him.
I think that Zoro was the only one who super stuck out to me as being really good, so I'm gonna give like a meh to the voice acting and the dubbing.
Okay.
Chibi, Gav.
So my thing with the voice acting, I'm actually gonna give it a yay, only because like I feel in order to do like dubbing over for an anime very well is if you can get like the proper intonation like for the voicing, which, and I know you guys probably like you were saying Luffy's voice was kind of annoying, but the thing is like for a character that is like in his very early teens and is like sort of going into that deeper sort of voice but still sounds like a very much a kid, like that kind of voice really suits that very well, especially for the high energy that he has. So for me, that was good. That was very good.
Yeah, it's kind of what me and Envy were saying with, like, they're like riding that fine line, but they are on the side of, like, this works.
Yeah, no, it works very well. Zoro I thought was good. Cody, as much as we all
even
don't
need to bring
like
up Cody anymore?
I think she's saying something positive.
What?
I am actually
For
saying
Cody?
something positive. I didn't think it was that bad because he's supposed to be annoying, and it worked very well.
Chibi, you're just a Cody simp.
Not really. I really hate him. He's annoying.
Everyone hates Cody.
But yeah, like everyone else was sort of fine. Yeah. I didn't think it was bad. Like I feel like it could have been a lot worse. Trust me, I will let you know when I'm mad with voice acting. And this was not it. I was not annoyed with this.
I'm sure you will, because I know, like, coming up we have a couple of shows where I'm like, ooh, some of these voices are gonna bug some people.
Oh, I know exactly which one's going to bug me.
I'm not gonna say what's coming up. You'll have to find out week to week, but yeah.
Gav?
Yeah, I actually liked the voice acting. I thought the voices were fitting for, like, the characters. So I would give the voice acting, like, a yay. I wasn't sure at first how I was going to feel about it, because I was, like, saying to my brother when we were watching it, I was like, beware, Luffy's voice is going to be really weird and annoying. And then I was, like, watching it, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad, because it's kind of fitting for him, so, you know.
Yeah. Did anyone have any lines that stuck out to them? Because I can't really think of any big ones myself.
For some reason, there was a Zoro line that stuck out to me, but I can't remember exactly what it was because I watched this like a week ago. So it's been a hot minute.
What about excluding the openings and endings? Because we'll talk about that in a minute. Was there any like music or stuff like that was really like? Yeah, because I was like, I wanted to call the category sound and dubbing, so I want to like include everything that we can in there. Anyone have any?
Yeah, nothing really stood out besides the opening for me.
Okay.
The only thing. Go ahead.
Wow, there was one song I heard that I really liked. I don't know what it was, but it was like, I think it was towards the end of the third episode, like when they were like sailing away or whatever. I can't really describe it, but I was like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty nice, and that was like the only time I felt like that though during the show.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, that's a pretty good song for this scene, but I would not be able to tell you what exactly it was called or anything like that, so.
Okay, so overall for sound and dubbing, like the dubbing people seem to like it pretty well. The rest of the sound in that seemed kind of eh. So we'll say like a meh to a yay, somewhere around here for the overall category.
Yeah.
But you know, speaking of songs and stuff, we did bring up openings and endings. What are our thoughts on these?
I mean, the first One Piece opening is like one of the most famous classical OPs of all time, and I think it kind of
is it?
Really?
yeah.
I think maybe the Japanese is. Maybe.
I hated.
Oh
this.
yeah, I'm not talking. Okay, yeah, I'm not talking about the English dub version of it. I'm talking about the regular sub version of it.
I didn't get to hear the Japanese one, so this one was like real bad to me.
I'm gonna be real honest.
Well, this is the Japanese version. It's just in English.
Yeah, but I mean the one in Japanese.
It'd be the same song.
But maybe it'll sound better. I don't know.
No,
they use people are just like subs are just better no matter what it is because you just don't understand whether it like what it sounds like.
Maybe they sang it different. I don't know.
I mean, I personally didn't mind the English cover, but yeah, I like the sub version a lot more. But
I hated it.
Oh, I'm gonna also give you a hot take. I also hated both of them.
They
Yeah,
were both
same.
They're not very
terrible.
memorable.
I didn't particularly like either of them either. I can't really like point to any super specific stuff that just like wasn't really my cup of tea for either of them.
I just found them super annoying.
Yeah.
I also showed you the 4Kids version.
Oh.
Did you like that?
Well,
the
better?
4Kids
that's the
is
greatest
fun.
opening of all time.
That one was not
The
that
pirate rap.
Yeah, the
Pirate Rap is a fun song.
Yeah,
Really?
I would have
It's
much
a
rather
fun
had
song.
that.
Now there's a hot take.
When I say fun, I mean it's like, okay, this is sort of enjoyable to listen to, and I find it really funny. That's what I mean when I say fun.
It is
Okay.
funny, I'll give it that.
So, opening and ending for this, it feels like
Nay.
Envy's been kind of outvoted. It's looking like a nay.
It's
Oh, believe me, when we get to the next show, I'm definitely going to be outvoted in a lot of stuff. I'm just going to say that right now.
Well, we got one last category. It's a little,
sure?
the last category is a little amorphous, I guess. I put it down as coolness, but it's kind of just like, call it an X factor or something. Just like, would you want to keep watching this? Or like, did it grab you? What, did you really enjoy it? Or
So in
something?
other words, if we weren't doing this show and you just wanted to watch it on your own,
that's a
would
good way
you
of
still
putting it.
watch it?
Did you find it
Yeah.
cool? Did you find it enjoyable? Did you like this?
I mean, overall, I liked it more than I thought I would, but I don't think it hooked me enough to make me want to. I mean, obviously, for One Piece, it's kind of different because it's over 900 freaking episodes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
If you-
you being,
I
but
gotta say, like, I think to some degree that's an intimidating thing, and that's probably why like a lot of new people probably don't want to start One Piece. But like, if we're taking that out of the equation, since we have to judge on the first 3 episodes, like, let's say this is back in 2000. I don't want to say 2006 because that's when the 4Kids one was coming out. Whenever this one came out, this dub, which would have been like 2012, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
What would you have wanted to continue?
probably not. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it didn't hook me enough to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt too, where it's like I feel like there are good things about it and things that I liked about it, but I'm not sure just by myself if I would continue watching it. And I don't know how to describe that. I think it's just my taste.
That's
like,
why
it's
I'm
just
having.
not to my taste.
That's why I'm having such a hard time like
yeah.
getting a name for the category.
I think
Category 7.
it was like okay, but not something I'd seek out.
Okay.
category 7.
So
I feel like I'm in somewhat of agreement with you guys. It's not perfect, but I think I probably would have continued watching this. I think the only reason I didn't watch this as a kid, not even as a kid, I wasn't a kid when it came out over here, but when it originally came out, I got turned off by 4Kids.
It was the rap.
I remember watching the Toonami promo for this. It's like, hey, we're gonna have a new show called. They were actually doing a promo with a whole bunch of different stuff because I know that Naruto and like a ton of other shows were coming out at the same time that I was really interested in. And they're like, here, check out this thing for One Piece. I'm like, okay, what's that? And then the rap started. I'm like, I'm gonna change the channel real quick. Like, this is not good. So
Not
that's
to
why I
mention
never
the
watched
Four
that.
Kids dub censored the hell out of the show.
That's almost
it
the
did.
reason that I just want
they
to watch
turned
it. But
Nami's skirt into a pair of shorts.
that
They
doesn't seem
literally
like
did that.
big of a thing. But
That's
yeah.
weird.
I know. Well,
I
because
think
it's
I've
a
heard
mini
way
skirt, so
worse
they're like,
things.
let's change that.
Was it the same length, like the shorts?
Same length?
Then what was
Yeah,
the point?
Yeah, that seems a little like pointless, but
Yeah.
It does seem a little bit pointless, but I think they were just like, oh, we don't want this for kids. No, thank you. Anyway.
overall
cool
for me, I
factor.
think I would say I probably would continue watching this.
Okay.
I'm not going to because I'd have too little time on my hands, but you know, based on these 3, I probably would.
Okay.
Just let it run in your sleep and just soak it up.
Oh God, like
Osmosis.
Yeah.
I do learn things by osmosis a lot of times. I feel like.
Right.
Yeah. I think for me, I would give this a meh. Mostly just because, like, if the overall, like, the general plot itself is fine, the world is fine, the character voicing is fine. It's just the fact that, like, I know that this pacing is going to be super slow. That I'm that I'm just not gonna want to keep watching it because I know I'm gonna get bored. So that's it for me.
Like, almost to that degree, I feel like you could watch this, like, as a casual view, kind of, like, watch it in the background even while you're doing other stuff.
I feel like I can definitely see it as one of those Saturday morning cartoons where you just like watch random episodes and don't even
that.
you don't even bother
Oh,
to
yeah.
like follow the story. I think I'd be
Absolutely.
fine. Yeah, I'd be fine watching it that way, but I wouldn't watch it like all in order, like religiously or anything.
Yes, I could definitely see myself watching it like that for
Yeah.
sure. Gav?
I don't think I would want to keep watching it. It's just like, I don't know. Like, it was alright, but like I'm kind of curious to see like more of the crew members, but like I don't think I'm like curious enough to keep watching it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of sounds like overall, for whatever we want to call Category 7, it's looking like an A for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So it feels like we got a good sense of how everyone's feeling about One Piece.
Yeah.
I guess it's time to talk about the other one, Fairy Tail.
Yep.
So, Fairy Tail... Hey, take it easy. We got to go over the plot first. So Fairy Tail's about wizards who are in guilds and do different jobs. And there's a girl named Lucy who got seduced by a pervert and then saved by a pink-haired dude who breathes fire and gets motion sickness really fast, who is in a guild that she wanted to join. And so she joins that guild. And then they go fight a pervert monkey. There's a clock and a bull. And then they have to go burn a book, but they don't finish that because that continues into episode 4. I think we're done.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a great summary.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm getting better at this. Maybe we should do it
that-
like this from now on. Like, I should not go into
Yeah.
long, detailed things about what happens in these shows.
That's
If
exactly
we ever
what
watch,
happened.
if we ever watch David Productions JoJo, I need you to do that in 30 seconds or less per
Wait,
season.
like the more recent JoJo?
Yes.
Because okay.
If we ever, I'd love to see you try and condense JoJo into 30 seconds.
You know what? I don't know that we're going to do it right away because we got this thing that we're doing.
Well,
but hey,
yeah, I
challenge
know,
accepted.
but-
Challenge
Yeah.
accepted. We'll see. You know, we'll take it a season at a time. We're not going to like overblow things with JoJo, but like we'll check it out. We'll see it at some point. Tentative promise. Anyway, so that was the plot. What are our thoughts on the plot?
Can I
Who
go
wants?
first?
You can go. You are chomping
I think,
at the bit.
yeah, I think Chibi's ready to explode.
Nay!
Oh,
Absolute nay! Okay, so let me preface this by saying several years ago, I was, I believe, either going to be a freshman in college or I was going to be a sophomore in college. Either way, I watched this show with one of my best friends from high school because said friend was really into it.
Mhm.
And I only got through 2 episodes and I stopped.
Oh, so you didn't see the book burning.
Because no, I didn't get that far. The book burning episode was the only thing that was intriguing. But the thing is the fact that like the plot that you're introduced to in the first episode is immediately resolved in said episode. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, your whole thing was you wanted to get into Fairy Tail, and now you're in Fairy Tail. What's your plot next?
Yeah.
And it's very much an episodic sort of show
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm just like, there is no overarching plot, or at least they haven't established it yet.
Not in the first 3 episodes, no, yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm just kind of like, there's no point to you. Where is the point in me watching you if there is no plot?
I'll just say this: I know we're not supposed to talk about what goes ahead, but I do know I have a couple of friends who watched the show, and I know Fairy Tail is like considered the redheaded stepchild of the shonen era from that day, because there's obviously a lot of fans that liked it, but a lot of people didn't, especially compared to the big 3 of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. And a lot of people thought that the filler for Fairy Tail was nowhere near as bad as Naruto. There was stretches where there was a lot of filler for this show that turned a lot of people off. So I can kind of see where
I didn't
Chibi's
think
coming
this-
from.
I didn't think this show had the
This-
episode count that Naruto did, though.
It had 328 episodes. It ended last year.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah, it's been
Damn.
going. It went for a long time.
It went from 2009 to 2019.
Ugh, I
It's
can't
10
imagine.
years.
Yeah.
So wait, where are you on this then?
Oh, for me,
Yeah,
honestly, while I didn't like the actual plot of the first episode because it was very, very creepy, I liked the interactions between Lucy and Natsu and Happy, and I'm not gonna lie, I think those
Well, we'll talk
interactions.
character in a
Well,
Well,
minute.
yeah,
talk
but I'm just saying,
characters
like-
in a minute.
Well, yeah, I know, but like the interactions help save the plot from being an outright nay for me in the first 3 episodes, so that's why I'm a meh.
Okay.
Go on. I thought that it just almost seemed like the plot was secondary to the jokes they tried to make and like I don't know, just maybe the characters as well. It felt like they didn't care about the plot. Like it was
It
just like,
almost.
yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, you brought that up, and now I realize probably why I don't like it. It's like a satire of just kind of like RPGs and guilds and things like that.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's
not
kind of
even
what it
like a very
feels.
good one.
I almost feel like I should
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Right. It's like it wasn't clever enough to be that, but it almost was like it's a hodgepodge of like all the other like fantasy things you've seen, but not like put together cleverly. It's just kind of just a hodgepodge, and then it tries to carry it with other stuff like humor and characters, but I think it just falls flat because there really isn't much of a plot. Kind of like what Chibi was saying. It's like the character just automatically gets what she wants, and she doesn't really even do anything, which is, I know we're going to talk about characters I made, but that's one of my problems with Lucy, but it's just like, I don't know, it just feels like the plot doesn't matter, and they don't want it to matter, so it doesn't matter to me, and I don't care, so I would say it's an A.
Damn, tell us how you really feel.
Preach.
I think between the two of you, you guys are ready to fight the whole fan base.
I think we are!
Yeah.
Let's do it! Let's jump on Reddit!
I was gonna say people have been fighting the fairy tale fan base for the last 11 years.
That's
I'm
probably
sure,
true.
I'm sure.
They're the
is very
underdogs.
true.
I think the plot's kind of non-existent at this point that we've seen. Anything that it does show up gets resolved. I don't know 100% that that's a bad thing, though, because I feel like, not dissimilar to One Piece and almost every show that we're going to be looking at, it is a Saturday morning cartoon that you kind of just, that you watch, and like you were saying with One Piece, you know, maybe you'd watch it and not have to worry about an overall plot. I think you could almost not worry about an overall plot with this and just tune in whenever you feel like it, more with this one than One Piece.
I think that
Which almost
is
makes
an
it better
upside.
for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That
I'm
could
gonna
help
give it a
work in its
meh.
favor.
I didn't love the plot. I didn't love any of the individual plots, but I could see how you could at least go a lot of places with it.
I don't really see how that
So.
makes it work for as a manga, though. That's the problem. Because
Well,
this is a manga
anime,
as
they're,
well.
You know,
I think you just feel like you don't have anything like to look forward to. Even with episodic shows, I feel like they always have like some hook. Like there's.
I think
some
it's more
villain
based on the
looming.
interactions of the characters.
Yeah.
At least in the early stages. I know in the later stages I know we're not supposed to do this, but I know they go way into more detail on the backstories on the characters and their
it's
past
shown.
trauma.
That is in every that you don't even have to know. You can just guess that that's exactly where it's going to go. We know that there will be a plot later for some big evil god wizard or something, or some kind of, I don't know, but
Yeah.
because that's just how the shows always go. There's going to be an evil super pirate in One Piece. There's going to be an evil ninja overlord in Naruto. There's going to be an evil whatever in whatever you're going to watch, because it's shonen.
Yeah.
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 So,
I am kind of a meh on the plot. I don't know, like, I really did not enjoy the first episode, especially, like, with what Chibi and Yin said, like, Lucy just kind of gets what she wants, like, she just gets into the guild, and I was like, she didn't even have to go through a test or anything.
can I throw it out
Right.
there? Can I throw this out there? I know we're probably going to cover this in character, but I don't think it's that hard to get into that guild to begin with.
No.
There are a
Maybe
lot of
not.
just goofballs there.
But, I don't know.
I hate to say this, and I don't want to compare this to like something that I really enjoy, but Fairy Tail might be Greendale from Community.
Oh.
It's just a college full of rejects.
But they
Is it
say that
supposed to
Fairy
be
Tail. They just say fairy. It's supposed to be, I think because the warriors themselves in the guild are very powerful, but yet they're incredibly destructive and stupid at the same time. So it's
Okay, then they're a liability. Which, if we
Yeah.
know anything about Greendale, it's a liability.
So if
Oh,
they are
absolutely.
supposed to be like the most powerful, bestest wizards around, then how did she just get in? They just put a stamp on her and was like, here you go.
So I think the thing is she basically like got in by convenience. She met Natsu, who's part
Yeah.
of the guild, and he was like, "Yeah, no, come on, you want to join?"
It's like
I was
nepotism.
Are you fucking kidding
Maybe
me?
it's nepotism, or maybe it's Darwinism. Maybe they like let anyone in, and then only the people who survive get to say.
Maybe. They
mean,
just
like-
whittle
I
them
don't know.
away.
That's a little dark, but you know,
That could be.
could be.
It's hard to
I
say.
feel like, did everyone go over their plot thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I didn't really like care for the rest of the episodes either. It was just kind of like I don't know, like
It's all super crude.
it's
Sorry, what was that?
just-
It's all just
Yep.
kind of crude and sort of pervy humor.
I
don't
didn't think
know.
it was. I didn't think it was that bad.
It was a little
but-
fan servicey where.
Yeah.
But it was like not horrible, but it just felt like they just put it in for like not much of a reason, I guess.
I think
That
they were
is
doing it for
true.
laughs. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, maybe not from America, but from other places, might find like some of the antics a bit comical. Maybe, I don't know.
I won't
like,
say that I
that's
didn't
the only
find
reason
any
why
of
I
that
could think
funny.
it would be in
Okay.
there.
We'll
There
get there.
were
We'll get
some
there.
good
We'll get
points
there.
of that.
We'll get there. Yeah. I almost feel like everyone's kind of saying a nay on the plot.
Yes.
So, and I feel like a lot of the reason for that is character stuff because there's a lack
Yes.
of plot. So why don't we just head straight into character now?
Cool.
Who wants to go off first? Because
I'll
feel
go
like
first
there's
because
a
I know
people
I-
who really want to.
I'll go first in the only sense because I feel like I'm going to be the only one that gives this a yay because I honestly love the characters a lot. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I understand your complaints about Lucy getting what she wants, and yeah, that was a little bit of a problem too. But honestly, Nazi and Happy kind of made the episodes
Nazi.
for
Oh
me.
God.
Oh, Nazi. Natsu and Happy made it.
This suddenly turned into a very much worse show.
Natsu and Happy made the episodes for me. I loved their interactions. I loved their deadpan humor. I loved their comic timing. I don't know. I just for some reason it worked for me. I can't really explain it, and I liked even though we didn't see them much. I liked the other members of the guild too because they just remind me of like name your comedy show from the 70s, 80s, 90s period, and I know I'm gonna be the one man out, but I'm just gonna get out of the way so then Chibi and Yin can be the exact opposite of me. So I'm a yay.
How about
Alright.
I go next just to because
Okay.
I know we got some vitriol coming. I'm just mine's short and sweet.
You're
I didn't have a
also gonna say
super big
yay?
problem. No, I'm not a yay, but I'm a little split. Like Envy, I enjoyed the little barroom brawl that they had.
Oh my god.
I had fun with that. It seemed like a fun thing. That being said, there's not a whole lot of character here. Natsu seems fine. Happy was a little annoying at times. Lucy is really just there to bitch and moan. So overall, I don't know if I'm going to give it a yay, but I didn't hate everyone. So
I
yeah.
have to agree with Al on this one. I really liked Natsu, to be honest. I thought he was a fun character. Didn't really care much for Happy, and God, I did not like Lucy. But
Is Lucy like the Sakura of this show?
She's
or...
Cody.
Oh,
is
she's
the
Cody.
Sakura.
Oh, jeez.
She's the Cody. She is also the Bella Swan, apparently. So there's that.
Damn.
Well, I mean, she and Natsu are the two main characters of the show, so
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go on record agreeing that I don't like Lucy because I just feel like she's pretty useless She doesn't really
Yeah.
do anything. Natsu's always the one who just saves the day anyway, so I feel like she's just one of those self-insert characters. Kind of, I guess, like Bella Swan. I don't know. But at the same time, it's like I can't even self-insert because I don't like her. So I'm just like, why are you here?
I don't think you're wrong, because she is often the one giving the lore dumps and having things explained to her. So she is kind of the audience surrogate.
Right, but
She
it's like, I don't like her at all.
Mm.
Like, and she does just bitch and moan. I don't know. I really couldn't stand her. And I just kind of wish that maybe there was somebody else, like, in her place. Or maybe it was just Natsu. I don't know. But then who would he interact with other than Happy? So...
Oh, shirtless dude.
Oh, shirtless dude was not bad. He was kind of... He had a couple funny things.
Yeah.
But...
I feel like had they written her character differently, I feel like we would feel a little differently about her.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know.
heard that redhead girl is, like, not so bad. So
What
Oh,
girl?
Ursa.
She doesn't exist, remember?
Oh, sorry. Never mind. She doesn't
Not here.
exist.
Doesn't exist.
Never mind. Then yeah, I wasn't that crazy about them, but Natsu was like okay as far as protagonists go. I feel like he doesn't have any flaws, and maybe I'd like to see something like some struggle or flaws from him.
I feel like we do get a struggle with him.
Do
He
we?
actually has a goal. He's looking for his air quotes
Meal.
dad.
Oh
So
yeah.
that is something. That is a goal, and
That's
something
And if
he's
you ever
trying
want to fight
achieve.
him, you have to fight him on a
Yeah.
train or a plane because he gets motion sickness.
Yeah.
That's
True.
true.
He's got a
There's that.
weakness.
He's
He's got
got
a
some
goal. He's got a
weaknesses.
power. He seems to be. I think we're all in agreement that Natsu seems okay.
He's okay. Yeah, he definitely didn't bother me. I think Happy just definitely felt like something to like sell toys and be a little mascot or whatever. So he was kind of
Yeah.
whatever to me. I found him a little annoying, but not quite as annoying as Lucy. He was much more benign.
Mm.
So, and then I don't know, the villains were just so irritating.
villains?
Whatever they were, the antagonists, I couldn't stand them.
Oh,
to
right,
be
there were
honest.
those.
There were those. And they
That's
were
not a
just
good sign if I
bad.
forgot about them completely.
Yeah.
They were just bad, so it's kind of meh, just because I guess I liked Natsu, but I don't know about anything else. He was okay.
All right.
Chibi, let him have it.
Well, okay, so you already heard my thoughts on Lucy. Not a fan. And I don't know, and I guess it's not even so much the bitching and moaning, because when you pair that with the voice acting, that's fine. But I don't know, it's just the fact that, like, I feel they could have added a lot more to her character with just, and I get that she's supposed to be, like, the reader audience surrogate, just so, like, you can get, like, a lot of the info dumps. Sort of like get the world sort of explained to you. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I feel they could have done more with her rather than, she's a celestial wizard. I feel like going a little more into that would have been more cooler. We do get to see her like going through her contracts like a little bit in episode 3, but there wasn't really that much. And aside from that, all she really does is like swoon over guys, try to get people to, you know, like sell her things, and just like other things. I don't know, I feel like she could have been written better for a protagonist, or at least for an audience surrogate. Natsu, fine, would have liked a little bit more, I don't know, just a bit more something else from him. He just kind of is always there to solve the problem and sort of like be the one that Lucy's kind of piggybacking off of. Happy is okay. Like, I don't mind the flying cat mascot thing. He's alright. I feel like I would have liked to have at least gotten introduced to more of the characters, because I know there are more. And then the antagonists all just were kind of real the same, real one note. I mean, you get where I'm going. It's an A for me.
It sounds like, yeah, overall we're a little bit on the mixed side here. We got some people like who are like definitely against it, some people who are like a little bit more for it, and some people who are kind of in the middle. I'm not really sure how to judge this. I'm going to just say it's a meh overall for everybody, I guess.
I would say that.
Yeah.
But you were bringing up how Lucy is basically the audience surrogate. What about the world building here? I think there was a lot of lore dumping in this. Like,
Yeah.
every episode, the
God.
narrator just, like, went off and just was like, here's this thing, and let's also talk about this thing over here. But then Lucy's also has to be talking about, like, all the different... I feel like that did bog down these episodes a little bit.
Yeah.
As happy as I usually am to get a lot of stuff, because I think this is an interesting world. I think that the idea of different magics and different stuff and how to use that magic, all sorts of things, we see we see a few different things in it, not a whole lot, but I think that they probably did create a good world. They just probably didn't have the best way to throw everything at everybody. Yeah. So I'm a little meh on it. I think that they have some good stuff here. I just don't know that they know how to present it in a way that's works for the story and the characters.
I didn't like the world at all. It was so generic to me. I don't know. And I didn't like the lore dumps either. They did slow it down a lot. And I just felt like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be aesthetically. Like, some people would walk around in t-shirts and other people walk around like Natsu. And it was like, I don't know, like, what you're going for. It just didn't make any sense to me, the design. So I don't know. And the villains just were whatever they needed to be in the moment. I don't know if I got a clear vision of, like, what anybody's deal is, except... I don't know, it seems like the wizards, you can just have any kind of wizard. Like, you can have the celestial thing, or you can have I don't know. It just all felt like it just was whatever it needed to be in the moment, and it just didn't feel that well thought out to me.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with a nay there. Like, there are better ways to build out your world, and, like, I don't know. I guess if you're going to give me, like, a magical world, I would prefer more of, like, a distinct aesthetic setting than anything else. Like, Sword Art Online at least had that, even though I don't like SAO very much.
I mean, the ending of episode 1 of SAO definitely got you at least interested on, holy shit, these people are trapped in a game where they die if they die in the game, they die in real life, holy shit.
Yeah, no, that, if you manage to get something like that, like, cohesive, like, as far as world building sort of goes, that's fine. This, and I guess this was like, I forget what we were saying. It's like someone said hodgepodge. I believe it was Yin.
It was you, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
this
hodgepodge.
This one is like that too.
Yeah, it's a hodgepodge world, and I don't know. It just, yeah. There are different ways that you can, like, sort of go into these sorts of things, like, further along the line, but I don't know. Maybe they were just going based off of the manga for these, but
I think that I had said to you while we were watching, because I know you were, like, complaining about that when we were watching the episodes, that everything was kind of a hodgepodge, and I was kind of like, well, what if like everybody here is a different isekai character, all from a different place, and that's why everyone looks like they're from different versions of Earth.
That could be interesting. If this was like a place in between other places, I think that would be kind of cool. But there's no indication that that's true.
They would have lore dumped that way.
Yeah,
early.
they would have. So it just seems like they couldn't decide like what kind of magical world they wanted to be. So we're just gonna be every magical world. I don't know. I didn't like it.
Who's next?
Gab, Envy, who's up?
Go ahead, Envy.
Well, I'm gonna be the one man out again. I actually like the world building, and I didn't mind the info dumps. Granted, I've seen a lot more recent anime in recent years where the world and the magic users are very generic. I mean, like, extremely generic.
They're all the video game isekai stuff?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I hate that too.
Maybe that kind of seeing all that exposure to even more generic stuff made me like the different wizarding worlds and the guilds, and I don't know. I don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't see where you guys are coming from, but I guess it didn't mind me as much as you guys, so I'm kind of a meh on it.
Gav?
I don't remember much about the world building, to be honest, so that probably is a bad sign.
It's not good.
No. So I didn't really care for it, I guess. Like, I don't know. I don't really have a thought on it, to be honest. Like,
it kind of sounds a meh to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like we're leaning meh to nay for the most part in this particular thing. If it were me, I think maybe had they established a more concrete magic system that everything worked off of, I might be more inclined to like the world building a little more. I don't know about everybody else, but like,
no.
Like a good example is Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
That's
that
a very
was
solid
clear.
magic system.
Yes.
So
That I can get behind.
yeah. So yeah, that's leaning towards a bit of a nay, despite the efforts of of Envy. Where are we on the art and animation? I feel like I know where you're gonna go because you already said the hodgepodge thing.
Yeah, if we're counting the character designs and stuff, they range from generic to just, I don't even know how they fit together. They look like they're all from different shows. I don't know. It's just like some people, like, I think Natsu looks good. He has a memorable design. I think his look is really good. But then Lucy just, what is she even? Like, her hairdo looks like it's from Pokemon, but her outfit...
Apparently, you just don't like Pokemon.
But what I'm saying is more that they just all look like they're mixed together. So I just can't stand, like, it's worse than with, like, at least with One Piece, I could see, like, a flow a little bit with the designs.
Everyone had a bit of that sailor aesthetic.
Yeah, but this one, there's, like, they have no idea. Like, I spotted one guy who was, like, wearing a dress shirt. He looked like he was going to the office, and it was like, what? He doesn't look like he fits with everyone else. I don't know. It annoyed me so much. Like, you were there while I was talking.
I remember, because, like, especially when you get to the guild.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first episode, it's not so bad. Everyone seems like they're vague fantasy-ish.
Kind of.
But then you get to the guild, and, like, you're saying one guy's, like, dressed to be, like, a salary man, and one guy is, like, in a
coat?
high school uniform. One dude's like trying to be Izaya from Durara.
Like, what's happening?
Some other girl's just like, hey, I'm gonna wear a bikini. It's beach casual today.
Right.
Another guy just doesn't wear clothes. So
Yeah.
It just doesn't
There's
make
that.
sense, and it doesn't fit together. So I didn't like the designs. The animation itself is not bad. I mean, the animation itself, it flows fine. It's kind of generic. Like, I wouldn't say it's, like, the best animated ever, but it's also not bad. It's just the designs, to me, are just uninspired. I just don't like it.
I'm a little bit with you there. I don't think I have a big problem with this or a big liking for it. It's the animation is fine, but it's also nothing spectacular. The characters, I think, for the most part, are distinct, if not perfect, in what their world is, I guess. But, like, it's... I don't know. Everything is kind of just... It's sort of just passable. Everybody looks fine. Everything's animated. Fine. Everything just is... It's fine. It's like, it's okay. I don't... But here's... And I'm having an internal debate here, because I've debated this with you a couple times about whether it's worse to be mediocre and forgettable or bad.
I think bad, there's something to laugh at. So
yeah,
it's better.
I usually think it's better to be bad than to be forgettable. So I might lean nay, but almost only because I feel so meh.
Yeah,
It's hard to explain.
I get that.
It's such a meh that it turns into a bit of a nay for me.
Okay.
Can I go next?
Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So, like, I kind of agree with both Yin and Al. I like Natsu. I think his design's, like, fine.
I think we can all agree that Natsu
he's
seems to
pretty
be the
good.
most solid
Yeah.
thing going for this show.
Yeah, he's not
He
bad.
just needs to be in another show.
Hey,
Just
hey,
transplant
hey.
him.
Yes, exactly. We're gonna transplant him. He's gonna be an isekai with a bunch of other isekai characters. We figured this out.
You just need to put him in an anime with dragons.
Yes.
That's what needs to happen.
I mean, apparently this anime has dragons.
At some
But-
point.
It's
With
like
more dragons.
it's like the other characters' designs. Like, some of them I like, some of them I dislike. Like, what's the purpose of the dude who doesn't wear any clothes? I don't really get that.
I think he's there for comic relief.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but-
matter, because guess what? We don't know even what his name is in these episodes.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe we
It's
do.
Ray.
I don't. Okay, yeah, you heard it. I didn't.
But anyway, like
I'm sure there's a very logical explanation for it that will totally make sense when we never hear it.
sure.
You know what the sad part is that it doesn't make sense because you know how Natsu is all fire powers? He's all ice powers.
Ice guy?
Yes, he's all ice powers.
Oh, great. So it really doesn't make sense.
So what does that have to do with his clothes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know
Okay.
that I just know him and Natsu butt heads partly because one's ice and one's fire.
Okay.
Great.
Song of Ice and Fire.
But yeah, I don't really
You
like
getting like a fanfic thing for them already?
I
or what's
hope
up?
not. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe.
God. Oh God. Oh,
For something you seem to hate, you seem to be very, very up for a ship right now.
Am I? I don't know anything about no clothes, dude.
Just that he's got some abs, and you just want the other guy
Hang
with abs on top
I'm
of him.
curious now. I need to
Really
look this
don't
up.
know.
Oh yeah, there's
No,
definitely
not now.
Oh yeah, there's definitely ships
It's
of
gotta
Natsu
be a
and Gray.
ship.
Yeah, there's
I'm just
there's
wondering if it's the top ship on AO3.
Probably
Yes, but
not.
who's on top? That's the question.
I don't know.
I think, yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the
You
character
think they switch off?
Maybe.
the character
know.
designs were like okay. They weren't like that bad, but they weren't like great either. So I'm kind of a meh on it.
Mm.
Like the animation was like meh too. It was like it's not bad, but it's not great. So
Like, I feel like I'm pointing out like a bunch of spots where like if you just like tweak this a little bit, maybe it'd be better. Like I think for the most part, the animation is fine, and it probably would have been fine if they like kept that. But like maybe in some of their fight scenes, do the One Punch Man thing, up the game a little bit for that particular section, and maybe that would have helped stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they were taking like the middle road on a lot of stuff, when maybe a couple tweaks into like let's really push this a little bit probably would have helped them.
yeah.
Okay. So my opinion is that going into animation, I feel like it could have been a bit better. I mean, it looks fine. It looks good. I don't hate it. Like I feel it could have been better. I do remember them doing like the same animation cycle with Natsu's doing his attack, to which I was just like, why?
Yeah, I had that same complaint about One Piece.
Yeah. As far as like the art
maybe not
styles,
a cycled animation, but just like
yeah.
little cheap things like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I mean, budget. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like art style or like just like character designs and things, I do wish things had been more consistent. Again, with like world building and stuff, like had they gone with like a consistent aesthetic, I would have been a bit happier.
Yeah.
As far as like the rest of that's concerned, like had they wanted to make it more like a modern magic sort of AU with guilds, that would have been fine. I would have dug that. I'd be like, cool, this is a bit different. I don't mind this. Had they wanted to go with a medieval one, I would have been fine with that too. Had they wanted to go with something that was a little bit more, like, definitely fantasy-esque, that would have been absolutely fine. It's just, like, again, hodgepodge. And to go back to the question that I just brought up about Natsu and Gray, it's number 3.
What's
Wait,
number
who's
one?
above them? Do we even know those characters?
So number 1 is Natsu and Lucy. Who else?
Of course.
Really?
Okay, who's number 2 then?
Number 2 is 2 characters we are unfamiliar with.
Okay.
So.
okay.
Clearly they're very big.
guess so.
Interesting.
Envy. Gonna be the odd man out again?
Yeah, I like the animation. I thought, yeah, I mean, obviously the repeat animation. Yeah, I mean that's just kind of shonen / magical girl anime in general. You have repeat animation all the time, but I like the animation. I like the art style, and to be completely 100% honest, I really wasn't paying attention to like some of the characters that kind of stood out or something like that. I just thought each character looked cool, to be completely honest. I was kind of the basic B on that one. So I'm kind of a yay, to be honest.
Hey, that's cool. So we got one yay, some mehs, and nays, and this feels like how every category is going, where it's kind of just like
it's a mixture.
It's a mixture somewhat leaning towards nay. Or meh.
You know, that scene with the octopus, though, I laughed so hard.
Oh, we
When
should
they
bring
were
it. You know what?
eating.
That's animation is that. We should bring that up. Hilarious moment in episode 1 where Natsu's eating an octopus and it just looks like he's sucking a dick.
It really did.
I do not know if you guys,
Did you
they
guys see
cycle
it?
that animation.
Yeah,
It is just,
yeah.
I was
going-
not paying attention.
Yeah,
You gotta
Not paying
rewatch it.
yeah.
just
No,
for
now that you mention it, yeah,
he
it
was
kind of.
just straight up going down on that
Dude,
thing.
he was enjoying that octopus.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was great.
So, speaking of other funny things, sound and dubbing. I want to say this first off because I really only have this because I was kind of comparing it to One Piece. I will say that I remember the music in this better. And I think that is a point in its favor because it's not terrible.
Are you talking
Like,
about like the
the-
background music?
The background music in it, I feel like I recognize a little more, probably because I just don't see it. It's a little more medieval Europe kind of music in the background, and I don't think is outside of like medieval shows that actually really embrace it. I don't think I see it that often in anime, so it stuck out to me a little bit. Outside of that, I think the dubbing was done decently. I don't love Lucy's voice, but it's mostly because I don't love Lucy. Happy got a little annoying at times, but outside of that, everyone else seems to be like doing well with like their character. I think this seems like one of those shows where everyone is like playing a character actor, and they're just like, I'm gonna be this character and be it to the nth degree.
Yes.
And I'm down for that. I do enjoy people who go whole hog into whatever they're doing. And that seems to be the case here. So I'm a yay on the dubbing. And I want to bring up 2 lines because I couldn't remember any lines from One Piece, but I remember 2 from here that I found hilarious. First one was where Natsu steals Gray's underpants and in the middle of a barroom fight. And he just goes up to Lucy, someone he's at this point never met. And he's like, "Excuse me, miss, can I borrow your underwear?"
That was
Like-
pretty good. I gotta admit.
Like that, you say that with a straight face. That's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And
that was funny.
the other one was just kind of the weird absurdity. I think this kind of encapsulates kind of the, I don't want to say childish, but like this is just a very shonen line. Whenever they beat up the demon monkey in episode 2 and it turns back into their friend, and he's just like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, I'm pathetic. I only killed 19 of those monsters.
Yeah.
But the 20th one got me.
That was
Like-
great.
That's just so
Yeah.
over the top. I want to be the most badass joke line. I'm like, that's great. Good for you. That's perfect.
He was super badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm such a wimp. Only that's like, I'm such a pansy. I only lifted 5 cars.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. I like the soundtrack of the show. I mean, not the OPs and EDs. We'll get to that later, but I like the soundtrack. I'll be honest. I think part of the reason why I enjoy the characters is because of the dubbing. I loved the dubbing in this show. Lucy was done by Jeremy Lee, who, if you look up her filmography, she's done a lot of famous characters.
Yeah, she was Suzuha in Steins Gate.
Yep, and she was also Asuna in SAO, the dub for that show, which I never watched the dub of that show, but that's all discussion for another day.
Is it a discussion for another day?
Okay, Kirito's voice actor annoys me the
Is
shit
it?
in the dub.
Are we gonna go into it at all? Are we really
No.
gonna watch it for this?
No,
No.
probably, but at least not for the Shonen Showdown.
No.
But yeah,
There's an Isekai Battle Royale, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see
There
what
you
happens.
go.
We'll see what happens.
yeah, Natsu was voiced by Todd Haberkorn, who's been in a bunch of stuff before, and even the villain in the first episode, even if he was creepy, I liked his voice actor because that was Ian Sinclair, and I just watched Space Dandy a couple months ago, so that's how I got to like his voice. So it's a high yay for me as far as the sound and dubbing.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be one of the few things that I actually like about this show. I
Seems that's the way
do
it's going.
like the soundtrack itself isn't very memorable for me because I take it as a fantasy, and I don't really think about whether or not it's in an anime or just a regular cartoon. So the soundtrack's kind of it's okay. Like, I don't really remember a lot of the scores, but the voice acting, I will say, is very well done. I don't like Lucy, but I feel her voice actress did very well, especially on a lot of those screamy lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like everyone else's voices just, like, really fit them very well. I also really like Todd Haberkorn. I'm gonna be very honest. When I heard him, I'm like, oh, that's Hikaru from Oran. So I was like, yay! I didn't realize he was in this.
Oh, Chris Sabat's also here. He's the big, tall, white-haired dude who got his ass kicked.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, yeah, like, I will say, like, the dubbing is kind of, like, one of the few things that I will give this thing a thumbs up for. Like, I don't like most of the rest of it, but I do feel that the actors did a very good job portraying the characters. So.
Yeah. I liked the dub too. I didn't really notice the score
And
very
you
much.
hate dubs.
Yeah, I don't like dubs, but I think for a dub, it was like not a bad dub, to be honest. The only thing that annoyed me was Happy. I think it's because whenever I see a dub, they always make the animal or children characters just sound really weird. Like, you can tell it's like an adult trying to put on a cutesy voice, and I just don't like it. It might just be a personal thing, but it annoys me.
I mean, it annoys me too, so
yeah,
you're not alone.
We gotta get more
you.
Salems out there. Just like an adorable little cat voiced by an old dude.
Right, when they're not even trying to sound cute, then it's fine. Then it's like, you go, Gigi. But when they're trying to sound cute, it's just so weird to me. So I don't like Happy, but I felt like everybody else did a pretty good job, and I liked Natsu, definitely. Once again, Natsu was the thing I liked best, but I liked his voice a lot.
Yeah, we all seem to have like some consistencies between these shows. Everyone seemed to be to like Zoro. Everyone seemed to like Natsu. Everyone hated Cody. Everyone hates Lucy.
But Lucy's voice actress did not do bad. I think she was fine. I just don't like her as a character. It's just Happy that I didn't like, to be real.
Yeah. I didn't mind the voice acting. I thought it was pretty good. And that's my take. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it seems like everyone is a pretty solid yay for sound and dubbing. Probably the first of those that Fairy Tail's been getting.
The casting team did very well with this. I will say that. I will say that much. So.
Yeah. So, we vaguely mentioned them, the openings and endings. Where are we with these songs?
I don't like them.
I don't remember them.
The ending's okay.
I forget.
I don't like the opening.
So the opening isn't very memorable for me. The ending, though, I remember that ending from a very long time ago. Probably around the time when this show first came out. There's like a music video. It even has like a little dance, and I actually remember trying to learn the dance to the song because I was in my weeb phase back then, where all I ever did was when I came home from school and finished my homework, I would basically learn the dances in front of the computer, because that's what I did for exercise. Sue me. But
hey, we're not judging. We're a little judging, but we're not judging that much.
I mean, honestly, though, I think, like, that ending song is kind of, like, sort of what, like, saves the category for me, is because I have fond memories of that song.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just because I was trying to learn the dance. I forget what part, because there are, like, 4 separate little dance movements with it, but, I mean, I personally like it, so.
Okay.
I'm kind of mid on everything, so I'm just a meh. Mine's very quick.
I'll do mine because I'm quick. I don't remember it that well. I'm struggling a little bit to remember the song, so I think I'm just a meh on it.
Yeah, I remember feeling like I really liked them because I watched One Piece right before or whatever, so comparatively I liked them. But I think I don't remember them anymore. Now that's been a few days. So I'd say I'm pretty meh just because it didn't stick in my head at all. But I didn't think they were bad. I just thought they were forgettable, I guess.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't really care for the opening. It wasn't like anything spectacular. The ending was like kind of cute, so I'll give it that. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think they are better than One Piece's. So
No, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Category 7.
Last, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We need
Continue
to go, yeah.
watching. Did you find it cool? What was enjoyable? Like, what any... I think it's almost like a final thoughts category.
Yeah.
Come to me last then, because I'm going to be the one man out.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know that I'd continue watching this. Like, yeah, it's just very, I feel like I've either seen a lot of the stuff here done better, or I don't really know. It's just, it everything is very middle of the road to me here. Again, I feel like there's like there's some positives. The dubbing's fun. The dub is fine, and it's good, and the actors are doing well, and I'm enjoying their energy in that, and Natsu's fine. But like everything else is just kind of It's fine. It's Saitama. It's okay.
I would have to agree with you there, Al. Yeah, it's like I enjoy Natsu, and the dubbing was good. But like besides for that, I can't really see myself getting into the show, just because it's like not like that, I guess, fun for me to watch. So yeah, I probably wouldn't watch any more of it. But that's just me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same position. I don't think I'd watch more. Maybe if Natsu was in a different show, just a show I liked more, I'd watch for him. But I don't think I don't know. It was just kind of generic. So I think I could find the elements, kind of what like what Al was saying. I could find the elements I liked about it in a different show. Even Natsu, I feel like, wasn't the best protagonist I've ever seen. So even with him, I think a lot of his qualities I could find elsewhere. So it didn't really stick out as something I would continue with.
You know what's interesting? It's like, and I kind of mentioned this also with Cody in One Piece. I feel like Lucy's more of the protagonist than Natsu is in this.
Lucy is the
protagonist.
And yet we keep talking about Natsu.
Because he's just more interesting. But Lucy's definitely the main character, I think.
She is. So going off of that, my whole thing is definitely like, I feel like that is probably the main problem for me about this show, is the fact that we have a person who could be a very decent protagonist in Natsu, but our actual protagonist is the audience surrogate, who is kind of annoying, to be blunt. And it's just the fact that, like, I feel because so much of it gets bogged down with having to introduce the world to her, or at least, like, explain a lot of it to her, when she should already know, like, a lot of this, or she's even doing some of the explaining. Like, I don't know. It just, this show is definitely not something that I would ever probably, like, continue watching. The only reason I even watched it again was because of this. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an A, to be very honest with it. Envy.
Okay.
Well, this has been a theme in pretty much every category of this show. I honestly really enjoyed the show a lot. Like, this would be something I actually wouldn't mind watching on my own. The two things that are holding it back is that it is over 300 episodes, and I hear there is a lot of pointless filler. So, but maybe it's because of the type of stuff I'm into nowadays. I like funny character interaction stuff, and I like the sense of the world and discovery. So I don't know. I kind of give it a yay, but I can totally understand why people wouldn't like the show. I'm not like I'm saying you're wrong or anything like that.
And we're not saying that you're wrong, even if you are. I'm kidding.
I don't mind character interactions. I just need a lot more going on with a show than just the character interactions. Like, trust me, some of it's funny. Otherwise, like, I don't know, if this were just a bit of a different show, I feel like I might like it. But there's just, there are things here and there that I'm just like, this makes me not crazy for it.
Well, like Yin was saying earlier, there are characters we haven't been introduced that are a lot more interesting. Like like they were mentioning Ursa, the red haired girl. She's probably the most famous character from the show because she's, she's a badass. She actually has a deep character to her. She actually has good backstory to her, and she actually doesn't take. She's like the only person from the guild that actually takes everything seriously, and it works off. Everybody else is so stupid, whereas she's like the only one that takes things seriously. So it kind of works like a foil back and forth. So I think if we would have been introduced to her, maybe things could have been a little different.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of a shame she's not here in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't get introduced to episode 5.
Oh dear. Wow.
We just missed her.
Well, now that I feel like we've all gone over our thoughts on both series overall, let's talk comparisons. So plot for One Piece versus Fairy Tail. Do we have arguments going one way or the other? Where's everybody kind of leaning?
Even though I liked Fairy Tail more, I might say that One Piece did a better job of world building, so I will give the edge to One Piece.
So,
For world building?
Well, for plot and world building.
Okay.
So, based on my tallies, since Fairy Tail's basically got 4 nays, a meh, and 2 yays, but One Piece has 3 mehs,
Well, here's the thing.
2 nays, and 2 yays, One Piece wins.
Yeah,
for me.
Well, you could say that, but like at the same time, I kind of want to go through each category to see which, because like you could have nays in 2 categories. Someone has to still win one way or the other.
No, I'm just saying for me, what I thought, like based on my own scores, what I would say wins for me. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so for plot, you're going One Piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Gav?
Hello?
Did we lose Gav?
No, I'm here.
Oh. Where are you? Fairy Tail or One Piece for plot?
Neither.
All right, we're gonna hold you as a tiebreaker vote if necessary. Yin?
I guess since I'm forced to choose, I'll go with One Piece. I think it has better plot.
Okay. Yeah. I think because I could feel like there was actually going to be an overall plot, I'm leaning One Piece as well. I think that kind of clinches it for One Piece getting the yay for plot. Characters. One Piece or Fairy Tail? Go around the room.
Fairy Tail, mine's easy.
I think One Piece for me.
Okay.
One Piece for me.
Yeah, One Piece.
Okay. Seems like my vote really doesn't matter. I was a little split because I did really enjoy that bar fight.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of character going around, which had a lot more quantity, I guess, than One Piece. But
Yeah,
it looks like
sure.
One Piece is clinching character. World building. Envy, you had some stuff to say on world building.
It's kind of weird. I like the world of Fairy Tail more, but at the same time, if I had to speak it objectively, I think One Piece's world building was more natural and more, going with it was told a lot better. So in that sense, I guess I'll give the edge to One Piece.
Okay. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. One Piece.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go with One Piece.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, I don't really know if it mattered for me and Gav to say anything at that point, but yeah, this is looking like One Piece.
Well, you could have outweighed us.
How? There's already 3 out of 5.
Oh, wait, that's right. Envy said One Piece.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were just doing better narratively with explaining things, or
They just wove it in more.
letting it develop naturally. Art and animation. I've been kind of holding back and not starting. So, I'm gonna give it a slight edge to One Piece. I think that simply because of the time that it came out later, Fairy Tail is animated a little bit better, and they didn't have to use as many like little tricks to get around stuff. But at the same time, I kept complaining constantly about them being a little generic and middle of the road and not as memorable. But I didn't have any of the complaints about that in regard to looking at One Piece or its art. And so I'm gonna lean that way for that.
I guess I'll go Fairy Tail. Mine's pretty
Okay.
short.
Okay. Who next?
I guess I'll go next. And I guess this will probably contradict, like, everything else that I've said so far. But I'm gonna give a slight edge to Fairy Tail only because the animation for me is a lot nicer to look at and it's a lot easier for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that it's a hodgepodge. One Piece just kind of, like, I was getting kind of tired, especially because, like, the line art's not really, like, great, especially for the first 3 episodes, and I understand that that's, like, sort of a caveat with it because it's a lot older, but I'm just going based on my preferences, so.
Okay. Yin or Gav?
This one's hard.
Are we doing animation? Is that what this is?
Art and animation.
Fairy Tail.
Okay.
Okay, then I don't have to say anything because my vote wouldn't matter anyway.
Okay, so...
I was very split on this. I have no idea which one I'd choose.
So
Yeah,
so far
I
we
have
have
I was
3
split
points
too,
for
so-
One Piece and 1 for Fairy Tail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sound and dubbing.
Fairy Tail easily
Yeah,
because
I'm also
at
going
least
Fairy Tail.
because even if you didn't like Lucy as a character, her voice acting was good. Cody's voice actor or actress, I feel bad, but yeah.
Well, beyond that, for me, it was that I actually remembered lines from Fairy Tail,
Yeah.
and that goes a long way. And I think I actually remember the soundtrack. I don't really remember One Piece that well.
I am gonna go with Fairy Tail too. I just liked the sound and the dubbing better.
I mean, for me, and I think this is also going with the same thing, like, Fairy Tail's sound and dubbing's a lot more memorable, and not that One Piece is really bad, it's not horrible, it's good, but...
No, it just kind of edges out.
Yeah, like, the thing is, like, Fairy Tail feels like there's a lot more character put into the voices, even for minor people, so I have to really give it to them for that, at least. So...
Gav? Or did you already say yours?
For
Yeah?
for dubbing,
Yeah,
Yes.
sound and dubbing.
Fairy Tail.
Okay, that's pretty unanimous. Openings and endings.
You know, I'll have to give it to Fairy Tail because the other one was super annoying. Even though I didn't remember Fairy Tales, at least I wasn't irritated. So Fairy Tail.
I'm kind of with you too. Like, I don't remember either of them very well. I just know that when I heard Fairy Tales, I was like, this was better.
This is an anime opening. That was like as far as it went, but at least it wasn't, wow, why is this an anime opening?
Really
Yeah.
didn't like that One Piece.
Okay, it annoyed me. It
I'm
might
really
be
trying
better
to
in
think, like,
Japanese,
maybe you
though.
were thinking of the 4Kids one now.
No, I am definitely thinking of the one that we
Okay.
watched and I didn't
Okay.
like.
No, I know.
I will definitely say Fairy Tail wins again for this, mostly just because nostalgia, and also just like the opening's not really memorable, and again, I'm also agreeing with Yin here. I wasn't annoyed, so yeah, Fairy Tail wins that category for me. Envy?
Honestly, I'm glad I'm not the tiebreaker because I would have been mid on this one because I like Fairy Tail's ED more, but I liked One Piece's OP more, so I was like mid with that. I'm the only one that liked the opening to One Piece, which is ironic.
Apparently.
Yeah, which is
I'm gonna be honest. You're kind of been playing devil's advocate a lot today.
I mean,
Well,
I
not
didn't
devil's
do it.
advocate, I guess. Just odd man out kind of deal.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a contrarian. It's just that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Got some unique tastes.
Yeah.
Fairy Tale.
Yeah, it's pretty much clinched that way. So currently it stands
3-3. It all comes down
3
to
and
category
3.
7.
So it comes down to category 7. Yeah. So
And I already know where this is gonna go. So I'm,
can I just say this? I feel like that's appropriate for a first episode of this.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of nice. It comes down to a
And-
final category thing, not a blowout. Like
I might as well get
honestly,
mine out of the way.
The way we have been describing these shows, I kind of felt like everything was going to be a blowout for a minute. Yeah, go for it, Envy.
I mean, I might as well get it out of the way because I know I'm going to be 4-1. So Fairy Tale for me for category
Okay.
7.
Okay, yeah. So final thoughts, Yin. Which would you prefer watching more of?
Okay, if I had to watch one of them, I think I'd choose One Piece.
Okay. Chibi?
If I had to watch one of them, I would pick One Piece. Because I don't really feel like I would be that annoyed continuing on with more. It's just the fact that, like, there wasn't enough in the first 3 episodes to really hook me. So.
Gav?
Oh God, I don't know.
Do you want to be the tiebreaker?
Yeah, let me be the tiebreaker.
There's not going to be a tiebreaker. I would have chosen One Piece.
All right.
Like,
How you don't have to choose.
yeah. Well, I mean, Gav, do you want to say anything about that, or?
I don't know. Like,
I wasn't sure if you were leaning in there.
because I watched Fairy Tale last night and I watched One Piece earlier today. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. I really don't know. I really can't pick, like, because
Would you say you would-
I
No, I
really,
was just gonna.
I
Go
really like both Natsu and like Luffy. And so it's just hard because I'd like to see both of them a little bit more. Like, if I had to like choose one of them, I would have a hard time picking, but like also I really don't like Lucy, so like maybe
Oh yeah, and
One
they got rid
Piece.
of Cody, so that's an advantage to One Piece.
Yeah, I guess. So I might have to say One Piece, but like also I feel like I'd have to watch like at least like a couple more episodes of both just to like know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you will get the chance to do that with One Piece because they're going into the next round of the Shonen Showdown to fight whoever's going to win next week. So it kind of looked to me like, for the most part, it seemed like from a writing and character standpoint, One Piece kind of clinched it, and from a technical standpoint, Fairy Tail was the superior one.
Yeah.
But it kind of like in the end, I guess we just prefer like just more memorable characters sometimes than you know, you don't always have to be the flashier made one. Not even flashy. I can't. If it was flashier made, I think it might have done better. But yeah.
If you Photable made Fairy Tale.
Oh my god, I might watch that. But yeah, do we have any final thoughts or anything on either of these that we want to? I mean, if you guys want to talk like random shit that we weren't allowed to talk that much about for Envy, do you want to gush? You can gush if you want. We'll allow you some time.
No, it's fine. Yeah, and I pretty much said all what I needed to say during my category discussion.
Okay, because like I know that we're gonna come up on a couple of shows that some of us might be big fans of later on that we're not going to be able to talk past the 3rd episode about. But, you know, maybe we leave a section at the end. If anyone wants to gush about stuff that they saw later on, like, they could go for it there.
I'll let you know, because I know we obviously talked beforehand about what shows we're going to be watching. So, yeah,
Right.
I'll definitely gush about some shows.
I'm going to have some shit to go over. But, yeah. I think we all will. But, you know, we might as well, while we're talking about that, get into what's coming up next. So, next week, according to the random selection that we had of the 16 shows that Shonen that we chose, we're going to be watching the first 3 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter. And I think there was we had to be specific because the Hunter x Hunter was the more recent animation.
Yeah, you want the 2011
adaptation.
version.
Yeah, because there was 2 of them. So yeah. So
already...
come back to watch that, and we'll. Yeah, what was that, Gav?
Oh, nothing. I'm just very biased about one of them.
I feel like there's always going to be those ones where
So am I.
some people are going to be biased, some people are not. This is another one where I
At least you won't be biased.
Yeah, I haven't seen either in any large amount, so yeah. I think there's only 1 week where I'm gonna actually. It'll be I've seen one and not the. Yeah, look. I don't want to spoil everything. Yeah,
Well, we knew Naruto's
Did you think the
gonna be
other
on
bits of the big 3 weren't going to be in this competition? They absolutely are. But yeah, no. Every other week, it's I've either seen neither or I've seen both, and that's the Naruto week is the one where it ended up where it was I've seen one of these and not the other. I'm gonna try not to be biased. I'm gonna do my best. But
Same.
Okay.
yeah. So. Any other things to talk about before we head on out?
No, I'm good.
All right. Winner, One Piece. Next week, Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter 2011. Come and watch the carnage. There's no carnage. What am I talking about?
All there is in Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's
I guess there's carnage in the shows. There's just not carnage whenever you hear us talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!